5, 4, 3, 2.
Crank it, Jerry.
Welcome to Into the Wild, the official podcast of the Washington Wild Pigs.
What do you hear? What do you say?
It's the best sports podcast in the world. Wait, is that true?
If you're committed enough, you can make any story. I once convinced a woman that I was Kevin Costner, and it worked because I believed it.
Now, here's your host, Kyle Dawson.
Did you get the popcorn?
Let's do this. Welcome back to the Wild Things Baseball Network postgame show and our Into the Wild podcast highlights for May 17th, 2024 at the Joe, the home of the Tri-City ValleyCats. It is a final in 10 tonight. The Wild Things take it 13-11. The scoring started in the top of the first. Washington on the board. Walk to Caleb McNeely to start the game. A base hit by Tommy Caulfield made it first and second. They would attempt a double steal. McNeely was thrown out on the front end to make it runner on second. Quincy Lattimore would walk to make it first and second. Andrew Check would walk to load the bases for the Wild Things in front of designated hitter Tyreek Reed, who would poke a single back through the middle for a two-run knock. That made it 2-0 Washington after the first inning. 1-1 with one out, the base is full. Here's the pitch from Albert to Reed, and it's bounded back up the middle for a base hit. That'll score Caulfield. Lattimore being waved around third. He is going to score. It's a two-run single for Tyreek Reed. Washington with a 2-0 lead in the top of the first inning. We would go to the bottom of the first inning, and Tri-City would effectively do the same thing by scoring two runs. A base hit by Jackson Hallmark, a walk to Dylan Broderick. Those guys both came in from first and second on Alec Oland two-run double that made it 2-2. We would go to the top of the second inning, and Washington would do some more scoring. This is when Carson Clowers decided that our break wasn't good enough for him. He ambushed the first pitch and hit his first professional home run of his career to left field to make it a 3-2 game. First pitch to Carson Clowers in the air and deep to left field. Carson Clowers has his first professional homer as we get underway in the top of the second inning. Jumped on the first pitch he saw. We're barely out of break, and Clowers delivers for Washington to make it a 3-2 game. After Clowers' home run, Evan Berkey would single. He would steal second base a few batters later during the Caleb McNeely at-bat, I believe. McNeely would eventually walk. A flyout by Tommy Caulfield, a strikeout by Quincy Lattimore, then an error that allowed Andrew Check to reach, loaded the bases. Tyreek Reed came up again and delivered another two-run single, this time to right center field, that made it a 5-2 Washington lead for dropping the flip. There's a line drive right center field. That's going to get down for Tyreek Reed and score a couple more. What a start to the day for Tyreek Reed. A couple of two-run singles. Check up to third. The Wild Things would add two runs in the top of the third as well. The Wild Things would have the first batter of the inning ground out. Then Carson Clowers was hit by a pitch. Evan Berkey was hit by a pitch. Caleb McNeely was walked. Tommy Caulfield, with the bases loaded, would step up and deliver a two-run single that made it a 7-2 ball game in favor of Washington. Ground ball right side through base hit. Caulfield brings home Clowers, brings home Berkey, as the tag is not going to be applied because the hop was never caught by the catcher Burgess. It is a two-run single for Tommy Caulfield. The inning continues, and it is 7-2 in favor of Washington. McNeely all the way up to third on the play as well. After it was 7-2, the Tri-City ValleyCats would see Washington score three more in the top of the fourth inning. A solo homer to lead off the inning by Alex Ovaez was his first of the year. Look at the numbers for the pitchers. Ovaez in the air to deep right, ranging back the right fielder. Oland at the wall, looking up, gone. Alex Ovaez has his first as a Wild Thing. Delivers Washington's 8th run of the night and the second home run for the Wild Things tonight, as he takes Sabatini yard for his first in Indy ball. Long battle, 9th pitch of the plate appearance over the wall to right. A fly out, a strikeout, a double by Evan Berkey later. The next batter was Caleb McNeely, who would do the same as Ovias had done earlier in the inning, but to right center field with his second home run of the season, a 2-run shot that made it a 10-2 Washington lead. Next pitch, a 2-0. McNeely in the air to right center field and drilled. Oland is ranging back into the gap. Can't find it. That is because it lands over the wall. A 2-run blast to right center by Caleb McNeely, and it is a 10 spot for Washington, and we're only in the 4th inning. In the bottom of the 4th inning, it would be ground out by Jackson Harmark, base hit by Dylan Broderick, his second of 4 tonight. Alec Oland would single. A sacrifice fly brought home Dylan Broderick off the bat of Oscar Campos, and Ian Walters hit a 2-run homer against his former team. That cut the Washington lead to 10-5. In the bottom of the 5th inning, to lead it off, Kyle Novak hit a solo home run that made it 10-6. Tri-City would wait to finish the scoring for them to try and tie the game until the bottom of the 8th inning. In the bottom of the 8th, a walk, a hit batter, a fly out, a wild pitch, and a walk, or rather a fielder's choice back to Alex Carrillo. He would uncork the ball back to the backstop, trying to get the lead runner at home, and that allowed the first run to score an RBI for Oscar Campos on that. The second run came in on the air as well, and the other runner went up to second base. That did not end up mattering. Campos and Ian Walters, who was hit by a pitch the next batter, would be stranded in the 8th inning for Tri-City. Lucas Young would come on in the 9th inning after Washington failed to get any insurance. In the top of the 9th inning, Lucas walked Elvis Peralta to lead off the inning. Then he gave up a base hit to Ryan Cash. During that plate appearance, Elvis Peralta had stolen second base, so he came around to score on the base hit by Cash. Cash was run for by Tyson Gingrich. Jackson Hallmark would pop out to third base. Dylan Broderick would single, a walk to Alec Oland, and then Oscar Campos, with the bases loaded, delivered a game-tying sacrifice fly that sent us to extra innings. In the top of the 10th inning, the international tiebreaker rule runner would be Robert Chayka. He would go to third on a bunt by Alex Ovias and then score on a base hit up the middle by J.C. Santini that made it 11-10 in favor of Washington. Here's his 1-2 again to Santini, and it's rolled back through the middle, base hit. J.C. Santini pulls through and gives Washington an 11-10 lead. Carson Clowers struck out, Evan Berkey was hit by a pitch, and then Caleb McNeely flared a ball over the second baseman's head for an RBI single. On that play, the throw to third to try and get the trailing runner would be wide of third. It would go by Ian Walters, and that allowed Berkey to scamper home and make it 13-11 or 13-10 Washington. 1 to McNeely. Fought it off, fisted it over the second baseman's head. It's down for a hit. Santini around, the throw goes to third and skips by Walters, and now Berkey will try to score from there. The throw there, safe. 2 score. Tri-City got its only run on the bottom of the 10th inning on an RBI double to lead the inning off by Chris Burgess from there. Kyle Novak struck out, Elvis Peralta flied to left, and Tyson Gingrich struck out looking to end the game as Kyungju Kim slammed the door. 3-2. Called strike 3, and Kim shuts the door. The Wild Things survive in extras. The final line totals: Washington 13 runs on 16 hits, 1 error, and 14 left on base. For Tri-City, 11 runs on 13 hits, 3 errors, and 14 left on base. Time of the game is 4 hours and 6 minutes. Not sure what the attendance was for Tri-City, so we'll check on that later. The winning pitcher is Lucas Young. He is 1-0. The loser for the game is Nathan Medrano. He is Medrano is 0-2. My attendance is coming in 3,111. Great crowd out here in the Joe to see this one. Medrano, the loser, 0-2. The save to Kyungju Kim. That is his first as a professional in his first decision as a professional. So it's been a wonderful game today. It's been a fun night. Hope you enjoyed it half as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Washington moves to 3-3 on the year, drops Tri-City to 3-4. The middle game of the series is scheduled for tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. We will be on the air at 6 p.m. with the Tony Busili Show as part of our pregame package for the 6:30 first pitch here at the Joe. Left-hander Kobe Foster for the Wild Things. No record, a 4.50 ERA. Takes on a 3.60 ERA and no record of right-hander Dan Beebe for the Tri-City ValleyCats. Until then, we say so long. Thanks for sticking with us, and we'll talk to you tomorrow from Troy, New York on the Wild Things Baseball Network.